In the past few days, a number of my colleagues, my male colleagues, have reached out to me and said, Natasha, all you need to do is apologize and retract your statements. And I told them I am not going to apologize. I will not apologize for my truth.
To our Senate President, Senator Akpabio, we are giving him ultimatum of 2 days, that is 48 hours, to reverse the suspension of Senator Natasha.
Hello everybody, welcome again to our channel, PulseAfrica TV. Okay, so still on the Natasha and Akpabio issue. A lot has happened, like you already know, from the suspension, before that, the allegation here and there. Okay, and now she has been suspended. She has taken it to another level. She has gone to the UN. Right, we're going to see the video shortly, and also the northern youths, they are upset. They've given their ultimatum. All right, so let's see the time she went to the UN, and let's hear what the northern youth had to say. A lot is happening, guys. We just pray God helps us in this nation called Nigeria. All right, so don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can receive notification when we post our videos. See you soon.
I come with a heavy heart from Nigeria, but first I'd like to apologize to Honorable Kafila Obara. I am not here to bring shame to our country. I'm here to seek help for the women of Nigeria. Again, my name is Senator Natasha Akpabio. 5 days ago, on the 6th of March 2025, I was suspended. As a senator, I was suspended illegally because I submitted a petition of sexual harassment against the President of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Akpabio. I thought that by submitting the petition, he would recuse himself, and both of us will submit ourselves to the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition for a fair and transparent investigation. But unfortunately, I was silenced and I was suspended. I was suspended for 6 months, amongst many other stringent conditions, such as taking away my security, taking away all the officials, vehicles, and other items that were handed over to me as a senator. My salaries will be cut off. I must not appear anywhere near the National Assembly. And for 6 months, I'm not to introduce myself or present myself as a senator locally in Nigeria or internationally. That means I'm here illegally, but I have no other place to go but to come here and speak to you women, because this is a bigger picture. This is a bigger picture. It depicts the crisis of women political representation. My suspension is not just about me. It's about the systemic exclusion of women from political leadership in Nigeria. Women make up 3.6% of political offices, and in the Senate, it's just 2.8. We have 109 men, and only 4 of us are women. So right now, it's 108 with only 3 women. This is a clear case of political victimization, punishment for speaking out against impunity, corruption, and gender-based violence. The United Nations Declaration 48/104 declares sexual harassment as a form of gender violence. The Senate's actions are an assault on democracy. I was elected by my constituents to represent them. Yet a few powerful men have unilaterally decided to silence their voices by suspending me for 6 months. My call for an open and transparent investigation into harassment allegations have been met with hostility instead of accountability. If a female senator can be treated this way in the full view of the world, imagine what ordinary Nigerian women will go through every day in workplaces, in universities, and other aspects of our society. A culture of harassment and silencing must end. And this is not just a Nigerian issue, it's a global one. Women in politics, media, and businesses face threats, intimidation, and violence for simply demanding fairness. From sex for grades scandals in universities to harassment in workplaces and political spaces, Nigerian women have constantly been forced into silence. We need stronger legal protections and a zero culture tolerance for gender-based discrimination and intimidation. My call to the international community is such that the world must not stay silent as democracy and women's rights are rolled back in Nigeria. I call on human rights organizations, women movements, and democratic institutions to hold the Nigerian Senate accountable. Nigeria needs global partners to push for women's political inclusion, safety, and protection from political harassment. You may ask, what are my next steps? I will resist the political intimidation. In the past few days, a number of my colleagues, my male colleagues, have reached out to me and said, Natasha, all you need to do is apologize and retract your statements. And I told them I am not going to apologize. I will not apologize for my truth. And I told them that I will stand the 6-month suspension, and the very first day I return, I will represent my petition on sexual harassment. And I will continue doing so until there is a fair and transparent investigation. I will fight this injustice and continue to represent my constituents, whether the Senate wants to hear me or not. I will work with women's groups, civil society, and legal teams to ensure that this unconstitutional suspension is quashed. This is bigger than me. This is about ensuring that no other woman in politics or public office will ever be silenced again. Thank you so much.
To our Senate President, Senator Akpabio, we are giving him ultimatum of 2 days, that is 48 hours, to reverse the suspension of Senator Natasha and stop the harassment from northern senators. Or else, we'll occupy the streets. It's our duty. The last protest, you will see what we did. It's in our vein for us to occupy the street. We'll occupy the whole street of northern Nigeria. We'll also occupy the National Assembly. We'll occupy the Senate. And demand for the resignation of Senator Akpabio. Furthermore, we will block Lokoja Lagos roads in a way that there will be no supply of food from the north to the south. And there will be no supply of other goods from south to the north. Please, our great president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are calling his attention for him to interfere and for him to stop people like Akpabio from all this busybody by spoiling his administration. And said enough is enough. If you could remember, I think before the Senator Natasha and Akpabio Sega, it was Abdul Ningi versus Akpabio. Then later on, Senator Ali Ndumi versus Akpabio. Now it is Senator Natasha versus Akpabio. The question I want to ask here, why is it that it's always a northern senators? People who has voted in that position. Then in addition to what my friend said here, that why is it that we, the northern youth, said Akpabio is anti-north? My friend, please, you should make your research and give us a single development from the northern Nigerian ever since Akpabio resumed as Senate President. The northern Nigerian have no single support from Akpabio. And we are calling for Mr. President, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a father from the north, because he's our father from the north. We, the northern Nigerian, voted him. And we support him, and we will keep on supporting him as our president. It's our constitutional right to defend our president. So we are calling the attention of Mr. President for him to please call the attention of Senator Akpabio, the Senate President. Let me tell you what you don't know. Akpabio stopped the project of NLNG gas pipeline project that will link from Kogi State to Kaduna to Kanu, in fact, to other African countries, Morocco.
That ordinarily she needs to be informed if a seat is changed, not at the floor where she's making her positions. It is from that incident that led to the case of suspension today. But before then, this honorable senator has said, distinguished colleagues, she has a petition. If there was a case of suspension that has to do with misconduct, that ordinarily has to be treated before even submitting a petition. She submitted a petition, and there was a case of she cannot sign a petition. It is in the case of this front and back that a staggering kind of suspension came. And we are all aware in this country that this is not the first case of sexual harassment made by the Senate President. The Senate President ordinarily should not be in the seat of Senate President. Why? We are all aware that this Senate President has questionable character before even the AFCC. We are all surprised to see him as Senate President. And this is not the first time we are having a case of sexual harassment. So if we are peddling the case of sexual harassment with gross misconduct of Senator Natasha, I think we also need to understand that something led to something before the case of suspension.